With pleasure now, we have another interview artist joining me on my show. It's an absolute delight to have on my show. We have Rebecca Winkworth. How we doing?
Hi, Danny. How are you? And how's everybody who's listening in?
I'm brilliant. And just as we're speaking, the sun has come out. So that's
Brilliant.
great. I just wanted to ask, what is the weather like where you are, and where are you in the world?
Good question. I have the blind down right now so that nobody can distract me through the window, but I know that it is sunny and I can hear the birds singing. It is 8 a.m. in Medellin in Colombia in South America. So the day is waking up.
Very nice. Welcome on to everyone over there. And I can detect an Irish accent from you.
Yes.
So
I'm your neighbor across the across
yeah,
the
yeah.
waters.
So I'm going to ask you, growing up in Ireland, were you always surrounded by music?
That's an amazing question. Yes, I was. My family, both sides are very musical. And I remember that our family entertainment was being around a piano, somebody, tinkling the ivory keys and us singing musical theater songs. That was the genre that my family preferred. Both my parents were in musical societies in their youth, and my grandmother, who's still very much alive and kicking, she was an actress and a singer on the musical theater stages back in her day. So we grew up singing There's No Business Like Show Business, West Side Story, Oklahoma, all those kind of lovely tunes. And that was our way of bringing the family and friends together.
How nice! And I must ask, of course, Irish music it's so broad and took the world by storm. Has Irish music run in your heritage as well?
Yeah, funny. My family wasn't so fanatic about Irish folk music, but I grew to love that and become very immersed in that type of music in my teen years by joining this group called Anuna, which is an a cappella group. And it's, I guess, a mixture of early music and Irish folk music. And so that's where I really, my whole world of Irish music expanded because I wasn't so exposed to it in my younger years.
My next question I'm going to ask for you: musical instruments. Which instruments can you play?
Okay. To my parents' horror, I'm not the greatest pianist or harpist, even though I did have years and years of lessons. I grew up playing those two instruments, the Irish folk harp, which is obviously different from the big classical harp, which has all the pedals, and the piano. I think the piano is a wonderful foundation for anybody getting started in music. It's a lovely, it's a very universal instrument. So I was playing that from the age of, I guess, 8 or something. But really, I became a lazy instrumentalist because singing just came easier to me. And so I have neglected those instruments. You wouldn't pay to have me play them for you in a concert, put it that way.
Sure. And we're here today, most importantly, to talk about your new single. Can you tell me what it's called and what is the
Yes.
meaning behind this new record?
Okay. Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak about it. I think it's an important message. It's called Young, Brave, and Free. Growing up as an Irish person, and you will have had a similar experience as a UK citizen. Our passport is like gold dust. It really opens opportunities and doors and borders to us. We can get on a plane, we can travel, we can go and visit other places very easily, live and work abroad. I guess the UK a little less so now, but anyway, we won't go there. The Irish passport is like gold dust, and living here in South America, I realized that that is a huge privilege and also a responsibility because many millions of people, based on where they are born around the world, cannot travel freely. And then when they're in difficult situations in countries that are suffering from war, from conflict, from persecution, climate change issues, they're forced to leave and make very difficult and perilous journeys across jungles, deserts, hiding in the back of lorries, on boats, across wild oceans, and many thousands of them are dying along the way. But they're forced to make these decisions in order to search for a brighter future. And so my song Young, Brave and Free is about the irony of the fact that somebody like me, just because of my maybe my skin color, my passport, the country that I was born in, I can truly live young, brave and free, which is what I feel the definition of youth is. And others, millions of others cannot.
Mm.
We're seeing huge crises in the countries like Syria, Afghanistan, Venezuela, and many more across the world. We're seeing it every day in our news, and we're presented with a very one-sided story of these people, and I wanted to humanize each individual. My story was based specifically on one young girl I met, a Venezuelan lady and her toddler child, a little girl, and they could no longer survive in Venezuela. She couldn't get food, she couldn't get medicine for her baby, and so she packed her life in a bag, and put her toddler on her hip, and they walked from Venezuela to Colombia, which is, a long, long, long distance, on her own. Very dangerous for many different reasons, coming to search for a brighter future here. And she was struggling here because she now has no family or friends to support her. And there's other legal things like her documents. They take so long to regulate the documents that she can't find legal work, until all of that process is finished. And so she was in a very bad situation, and I came home and I was very upset by it, and I wrote this song. The irony that some of us really can live free in our youth and others simply cannot, and it's just a lottery. It's just a simple lottery of where we're born, and that's what the song talks about.
That's so true. And you just told me about what the single is about. Is there a music video to accompany this record as well?
There is. I made the music video myself, actually. Obviously, I had a help from somebody filming the parts where I'm singing, with Medellin and the Valley of Medellin in Colombia in the background, and then images of how do I put it? Because we have to be very sensitive. Images of some people that are making those difficult decisions to travel across international borders, across Central America, in search of finding a way through to the United States on the other side. People that make the difficult journey across the Mediterranean Ocean on boats. So it's trying to tell those stories. I think the music videos it's a little bit heavy going. It's a little bit upsetting, but I'm trying to show that there's hope as well, because there's moments of people hugging each other and showing empathy, and just trying to humanize the story. And that's what I want people to. I want people to reflect on that all of us, we're just humans, and we share so much in common with each other. I have one sentence at the end of the music video, which I think is nice, and it says, "Our shared humanity transcends all borders." I mean, look at me and you right now, sharing across digital technology borders and geographic borders, and enjoying each other's company, even though we're from different countries, different cultures altogether, but we can still share this moment together.
Agreed. So there's a music video for the listener to watch if they wish.
It's on YouTube. So I hope everybody has access to YouTube. I'm also on social media, all of the different social media platforms. You have to be nowadays, don't you?
Very true.
You're everywhere. With my name, Rebecca Winkworth. People can find me. Winkworth is actually spelled with a CK, WINCKWORTH. Or you guys in the UK say R. Irish people say or for the letter R.
Love it. Just a couple more questions to go. What's the reaction been like with this record as well?
That it's profound and people are enjoying it. My sister actually told me it's her favorite release of mine so far, because it's got a very moving message. And I always try to write things about real stories, real people, and messages that will have us reflect for a moment. You'll never hear me just writing a song about baby, baby, I love you, baby. I want it to be real issues, sometimes uncomfortable issues. But at the end of the day, I always want to have some hope in there, because that's, what keeps us all going, hope about the future.
And when you look at Colombia on the TV, very scenic mountains and everything, some lovely parts of the world. Do the surroundings inspire your music writing?
Oh my goodness. You have no idea how much so. I never was able to write music before I came here. I think I was too comfortable. And then when I moved to a country where things are so incredibly uncomfortable sometimes, and dangerous and risky and frightening and petrifying sometimes, that inspires me to get out of my comfort zone. And it really makes me think, wow, I have something to say here. This is not an ordinary experience. I think this is worthy of sharing with the world. And I never had that inspiration before. So I think that's a good lesson for anybody in any walk of life. When you push yourself out of what you're comfortable, challenge yourself, put yourself in something new, that's where the growth and the inspiration comes from. That's what's happened for me.
And when you're sat and you see a view of a mountain and you're writing, putting pen to paper, it's something spiritual about that experience.
Wow, you have hit the nail on the head, Danny. For me, it makes me realize that I'm this tiny, tiny part of something that's so much greater. In my context, it's the world, the many millions of us, billions of us actually, that inhabit this planet. And so that perspective really helps me to write some beautiful music, I think. I hope that people enjoy to listen to.
South America as well, famous for the salsa. Am I right there?
The which
Is it
salsa?
is it the
Salsa
salsa
dancing?
dance? Yeah, is that
Ah,
correct?
yes, yes. We love to eat salsa, the foods, but we also love to dance salsa. And I actually have salsa dance classes every week. I adore it. It's so fun. I'm not a fan of going to gyms. I have tried so hard, but it's not my favorite exercise. But dancing is, because it gets you smiling, it gets your whole body moving, and you feel funny and awkward sometimes. As an Irish person, I was taught to dance with my arms down by my sides, and you're not allowed to move, and just the legs going up and down. But here you have to get the hips, the shoulders, everything that I never knew existed in my body. They have to move, and it makes me feel a bit. And so I get laughing as well as doing exercise.
It's a good way to meet people as well, and good way to, de-stress.
Relax.
Yeah, relax. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's so nice.
Get into the rhythm of
It's so
things.
nice.
Do you speak any
Yeah.
language as well in your
Hablo
music?
con fluidez el español. I speak fluent Spanish. So if we have any Spanish speaking listeners here, hola a todos. Espero que estén muy bien. Yeah, speak fluent Spanish. I did used to speak a good level of French, but then when I started speaking Spanish, my goodness me, it went out the other side of the brain. I'm confusing the two. So I can still listen and read French, but trying to speak it is really difficult for me at the moment. And then, of course, Irish. As an Irish person, we have to learn Irish from 4 until 18 in school. So I was pretty good. But again, anything that you neglect to practice in life, you forget. So my Irish is a bit rusty,
Of course.
to be honest.
But you sound very nice and clear today, which is good.
Thank you very much.
Right. I think that's all I wanted to ask you today. Thanks for being very well open about your journey, your musical journey, especially the Columbia. That was very interesting. Going to play your song now on my show. Would you like to introduce it on? So my name's Danson, and this is just a unique show.
To everybody listening to this fantastic Danson show today, the unique show, I hope you enjoy my new single, Young, Brave and Free. Thank you so much.
Been a delight having you on, Rebecca. All the best and stay safe out there, okay?
Thank you.
Take care. Goodbye now. Bye.